Alrighty then, lunatics. Grab yourselves a pillow. Grab yourselves a blanket. It's time for some late night lucky. I don't I don't have the patience to sit here and play through all that right now. I gotta get on this shit ASAP. For sure. Okay. Per Cam's recommendation and request, we're gonna finish this. Well, they didn't ask to finish this up, but we're gonna finish this video out. I'm in pain. I'm in pain. I need to start the lo-fi music. That would be helpful. Yup. Here. There we go. Just a little bit of music so you guys can get sweepy. There you go. For real, for real. I could turn off my Spotify, otherwise I'm gonna get blasted. Nice. Oh man. Yeah, 10 super evolves. I'm good. Means I have to play 5 fucking matches and super evolve twice. Oh, did I already have 2 though? Maybe I just only had to do 4. Maybe it's not that bad. Anywho, so we finished everything but the epilogue of Lucky Days 2, which is pretty hype. It's pretty exciting. There's a few things we have to do for the first book still. The first book has its pronunciation guide done. It has its glossary started and its celestial alphabet done. We have to add in character sheets. And at some point I need to make the fucking map because I haven't made the map yet. And I don't know about you, but I ain't doing that right now. Yeah, no. So instead what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do one more read through. I just want to make sure everything makes sense. Just have to update the table of contents. Damn. All this like admin stuff in the back end. It's not exactly writing the writer. At some point I need to actually update my Skelly. I'll probably dedicate a whole stream to fixing this fucking thing. I don't know when. But yeah. Without wasting too much time, let's take a look at this book, shall we? Book. Here we go. Prologue. Stray. The explosive sound of rain pelted the soft earth on the outskirts of Aegis. And specifically, by the way, what we're looking for here during this edit is content stuff that needs to be adjusted or added. That's what we're looking for. Not necessarily like grammar, although if I catch it, I'll do it. The explosive sound of rain pelted the soft earth on the outskirts of Aegis. A lone man wandered the woodland surrounding his cabin. A squint of his sun-kissed eyes, he peered beyond his shoulder and back towards his home away from home. Okay, well this is awkward, he murmured. Could have sworn I left the lights on. With a shrug, he pressed onward. His hand paled as he gripped a pink umbrella in anticipation. Even the thunder failed to mask how his heart pounded in his chest. Squish, splash. A lone man. His hand paled. Okay. Mud raced from beneath his feet, creating an unreliable pathway, occasionally causing him to lose his footing. However, the man had an exceptional sense of balance. His muscles rippled with delight as the elements tried their best to topple him over. Where the rain and the wind failed to stop him, he managed to snap his umbrella in half, causing his neatly styled emerald hair to droop in front of his eyes, partially blocking his vision. And that is rather unfortunate, he sighed. Oh well, I doubt it's much further now. It didn't take more than a minute for his Kerbo tee and black joggers to begin weighing him down from the rain. There! His voice jumped as he breached through a wall of the brush. His eyes shone in the darkness as he stood trembling. Trembling? Ah, I see. Water. His voice jumped as he breached through a wall of brush. His eyes shone in the darkness as he stood trembling over a crater that's depths seemed endless. I can sense it, but what exactly is it? He placed his open hand on the edge of the chasm and forced mana from within into the ground, sending it out like snakes on a hunt. After a few moments of searching, his eyes opened slightly. The man gasped as a feeling of malice embraced him from behind. Alien words. Theft. Stay away, shrew. Your spin. Subconsciously, his body bolted to the right. Huh? He watched as a beam of light tore apart the ledge he was standing on moments ago. The shockwave from the blast caused the ground beneath his feet to rumble, and nearby trees to have their bark ripped from their trunks. Oh no, trunks got ripped from. Sorry. No saving the future now. Beyond the debris, the man saw a mirror image of himself. Even the soaked clothes and dripping hair were perfectly replicated. A mimic. No. This thing feels different. Thought out loud. I'm Jamie of the Fool's Carol. Can you understand me? Words. Alien words, even. Leave me alone. So true. Sounds just like me. His replica snarled in return. Speaking of which, my mom and wife and son went out for food today. And when they came back, they brought home like a thermos mug thingy that just says "ew people" on it, and I thought that was really funny. It was for me, in case I didn't make that clear. It was a present for me. I was like, yeah, nice. Very, very cute. Anyhow, his replica snarled in return. He quickly shot off another beam of light in his direction. This time, he popped out of its field of view and reappeared behind it. With a swift chop, he struck the back of its neck, let out a cry before whipping its front leg towards Jamie's abdomen. Swipe of his arm later. He redirected the kick, throwing his clone off balance. Something feels off. It feels scared more than anything. Jamie took a step back and raised both of his arms. Listen, I'm not going to hurt you anymore if you could just stop attacking me for a minute. His clone took a step forward and began to speak, but before the words could come out, it collapsed onto the mud-riddled ground below. Abba-dabba-doo. Walking over his presumed enemy, he looked down upon a pint-sized blob of pure mana. Had cat-like ears and seemed awfully squishy. Awfully squishy. I'm sorry. What the hell are you? Bing bong, idiot. His initial shock was so great that he even surprised himself. Quickly regaining his composure, he inspected the pure black thing in front of him. It appeared to be slime-like in nature, and its exterior seemed to be skittering about itself. His arm warily reached out to the blob. He hesitated for a moment before placing his hand on it. A strange pull from his gate lasted only for a moment. Ew, that was gross. Felt like something was probing around inside of me. Huh? What's this? Boon juice. The blob began to ripple, shaking side to side before taking the form of a short-haired black cat, with paws the color of snow matching the tips of its ears and tails. Wait, the tails? Yes, tails. The cat seemed to have two twin tails protruding from it, one white, one black. Jamie bent over, gently lifting the cat up to his chest. Oh no, what am I doing? How do I explain this to Carol and the others? Against his better judgment, he shielded the newly formed cat from the storm as he brought it back to his home away from home. The lights were on. He laughed wryly as he hurried inside. Okay, so let's because of the nature of the prologue, I am okay with that. So I'm not worried about that. Ultimately, what I'm looking for is to make sure that the brain farted, but a few things. One, I didn't accidentally contradict any character descriptions. Two, I show signs of Jamie being Lucky's like safety net blanket person in the beginning especially. And three, her desire to get magic back and just like be more independent, if you will. Good morning, Jamie. Did you hear me? The voice of a slightly monotone woman pierced through Jamie's dreams. Ugh. Jamie groaned as he moved his green locks from his face. What time is it? Voice was rough. His voice was rough, and a single tear protruded from his bright yellow eyes as he yawned. I don't know, but I'm hungry. Jamie looked down at the whining lump of mass sprawled across his chest. Lucky, get off. Nope, too hungry. Lucky's voice trilled. Maybe someone kept ramen in the house. I could make my own food. Lucky lifted her head off of Jamie's chest, revealing a wave of silver hair and cat-like ears to complete the look. Her mismatched eyes of blue and red peeked playfully from behind the comforter. Please, Jamie, I'll do the dishes, she bargained. Say less. Jamie shoved Lucky off of him before jumping out of bed. His gray flannel loungewear fit loosely on his body, occasionally causing him to slide when he walked. Pinky, Lucky exclaimed, unwrapping her fluffy tail from her waist. She too wore flannel loungewear, but the ones she adorned were a more colorful mix of blue and red. They both left Jamie's modest bedroom and walked down a hallway littered with posters. They displayed different demi-human idols, anime characters, and video game mascots. Lucky paused briefly in front of a poster that shared a striking resemblance to her. Hey, Jamie. Lucky's absent-minded tone jingled down the hallway. Jamie turned on the electric stove in the spacious kitchen. Yeah? What is it? Lucky fidgeted with the poster in front of her, tracing her finger on the character's cat-like ears. You still mad at me? I don't know what you're referring to, but probably yes, Jamie chuckled to himself. I'm being serious, you know, Lucky whined. Jamie cracked some eggs over a pan he had placed on the stove. Okay, what's on your mind? He flipped his Krma hand towel over his shoulder. I mean, you went off on me about taking Alma's form so much I had to change. And you got mad at me for talking to the Vanguard agents when they came here. And you threatened to kick me out when I made you breakfast. Okay, first of all, Jamie cut Lucky off and let out a deep sigh. You can't just go around pretending to be someone you're not, especially someone as perfect as my lovable, adorable, beautiful Alma. And she's not real, Lucky whispered under her breath. Second, the Vanguard are some mysterious goons not even us higher ranking adventurers know much about. All we know is that when they show up, crazy shit starts happening. People die or wind up missing. And let's face it, no one can do anything about them or get any meaningful information on their whereabouts. Jamie finished scrambling the eggs and dishing them onto a matching set of plates with cute little chibi characters on them. Chow? Don't really see the big deal. Popsicle stick popped out from Lucky's mouth, causing her words to be muffled. Huh? Give me that. Jamie yoinked the popsicle stick from Lucky's mouth, revealing a frozen squid on a stick that Jamie had prepared days before. Bad. I'm going to bring the spray bottle out of retirement. Jamie pointed at the cupboard above the fridge. Lucky jumped. No. She bolted off to the connected living room, throwing herself onto the futon, and she hurriedly threw a flannel blanket over her body. Frustrated, Jamie tossed both of their plates and a bottle of ketchup on the kitchen table. And finally, for the last time, I got upset with you because when you made breakfast, you blew up the toaster and ruined my countertops. The 900 credit bill I wasn't expecting. Lucky's head shot up from behind the cushion on the couch. I told you that I will pay you back. Beep. Moping over to the kitchen table, Lucky plopped herself in the chair across from Jamie and shook the bottle of ketchup. Jamie snorted, pointing his fork at Lucky. Whatever you say, freeloader. Lucky stuck out her tongue and pulled down her lower eyelid. She then squirted ketchup in the shape of a crescent moon on the pile of eggs. Oh, it's perfect. Lucky shoveled a lump of egg proudly into her face. You know, if Alma was anything like you, I'd have to dispose of her merch, Jamie groaned. Let's polish it, Lucky spat. Jamie shook his head and drew out the letters in the air with his left hand. Bullshit, bullshit, he corrected her. Lucky lowered her face into her plate. Bullshit, that's bullshit. The two exchanged jabs a bit more before settling in and finishing their food. After some excited conversation about watching a popular streamer later, Lucky got up and collected the dishes and went to the sink. Jamie stood on her right by the drying rack with his Krma towel. As she finished her first dish, he reached out to grab it. Well, don't keep me waiting. Lucky raised an eyebrow, but I said I'd do the dishes. Yeah, hurry. Jamie moved his hand closer. With a shrug, Lucky handed off the first dish and continued to wash the dishes. So, are you sure it's okay for me to go out there? Jamie chuckled. Oh, definitely not. The second you step outside, the Martian will scoop you up and take you away. Hey, that's not funny. That movie was so scary. Lucky raised her leg and kicked Jamie in the rear. Oh, haha. Sorry, it's just so easy to get you going. Jamie wiped a tear from his eyes as he finished laughing. But in all reality, you'll fit right in out there. In the city of Aegis, all kinds of people come and go. There isn't anything to worry about. Once you get to the base of the hills here, it's a straight shot to the city. Wyvern fare is cheap too, so you never have to worry about hoofing it for half a day. Or more. Lucky's smile grew from ear to ear. I would love to ride a dragon. Wyvern, Lucky. Wyvern. Dragons are nasty creatures. Believe me when I say you don't want to encounter one in your lifetime. I mean, it's the same thing, you know? Lucky looked out of the kitchen window, pondering. Shaking his head, Jamie sighed. And you're the same as Alma. Are you never gonna let that go? Lucky tried slapping Jamie, but he aptly dodged. Nope. Two chased each other around the living room and up the stairs to the loft, then back down again for a few dozen laps before Lucky dropped down onto the couch. Chased each other around the living room, up the stairs to the loft. We chased each other around the living room and up the stairs. Loft. And back down again for a few dozen laps before Lucky dropped down onto the couch. Alright, I'll do it. Her tone seemed different. Do what? Jamie sat down next to her and began petting her head. I'll go with you to Aegis today, for sure this time. I want to ride a wyvern and meet Carol. Her voice trembled. Jamie felt Lucky's grip tighten around his wrist and could tell her breathing had quickened. He waited for a few moments. Okay, I remember what I forgot to add in the past. Maybe I shouldn't have forced the issue. Whoever she is, she's been through a lot, and anyone with a pulse can tell she's scared. Jamie inhaled to speak, but was swiftly shut down by Lucky pouncing to her feet. I don't remember if I showed her general anxiety or not during the little jumping outside of the Fool's Carol. Gotta double check that because, like you would think somebody who's been worried about going outside, right, after everything, would see that and feel some kind of way, whether it's like they want to do something about it and it sparks their want to be an adventurer, but they're anxious about it. Like there needs to be a follow-up to make that make sense, because her seeing it was part of that spark, but also like seeing Jamie in action. And I think I should double check to see if I actually did that or not. We'll see. Note to self. Let's go pick out my outfit, she exclaimed. Skipping down the hallway and into Jamie's room, Lucky began going through his closet. Not this again. Jamie begrudgingly followed Lucky. He watched she picked clothes out and threw them onto his bed. This time make sure you put everything back, or else, Jamie warned. Yeah, I'll clean up for sure. Lucky smiled when she pulled out a Krma shirt and a pair of joggers. Within a moment, her body skittered slightly. Suddenly, she was wearing an exact pair of clothes she held in her hands. Pair of the clothes she held in her hands. Right. Jamie stood in the door frame, unfazed. A scowl sprawled across his face. I don't know if I'm losing it or if I've spent too much time with her. This whole shape-shifting thing seems more convenient than abnormal to me now. His thoughts were interrupted when he heard her whine. That's still not right. She looked down at her body as she twisted back and forth. Down at her body, twisting back and forth. After a quick inspection, she reached behind Jamie's dresser and rolled out a full body mirror. A few skitters later, and Lucky's face was beaming with delight. She quickly ran over to Jamie and did a 360. I wonder if she remembers that I wore this when we first met. Jamie ran his eyes up and down before giving her a nod of approval. Hey Jamie, you know why I want to wear this outfit? Lucky leaned in. Jamie blushed slightly. Well, I might have an idea. Because you love this pink little guy, and I doubt you will let me get hurt while wearing them. Lucky pranced past Jamie. Now turning red, Jamie clutched at his chest. Yup, makes sense. His voice shook as the words left his mouth. Stopping for a moment, Lucky quietly responded. Also, this is exactly what you wore the day you took me in. As quickly as she uttered those words, she had run upstairs to the loft to grab some of her things. Jamie quietly closed the door and leaned against its cold wood. Okay, what? That was too cute. Can't handle this right now. That annoying freeloader can't just do this. That's what I hate about that obnoxious little brat. One moment she's being a pain in the ass, and the next she's like this. Jamie took a moment to organize his thoughts and calm down. After regaining his composure, he gathered his own clothes and hopped into the shower. She's gonna be the death of me, isn't she? Wow, strange-ass foreshadowing. Jamie pressed his head up against the cold slate and let the water run over his body. Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully that doesn't mean anything. Shortly after finishing, Jamie dressed himself in a set of expensive-looking adventurer's armor. It was clearly built with mobility in mind, and even came complete with a cylinder-shaped sheath. Sticking his hand into his closet, he fumbled around for a bit. His face twisted when he noticed the pile of clothes still piled on his bed. Pile of clothes still thrown on his bed. His eyes lit up when he felt a cold metal graze his hand. Snagging it from the closet, he produced a sleek obsidian-colored rod. It was roughly 3 feet long. What is that in meters? So we kind of switched over to meters. 3 feet to meters. Roughly a meter long. I'll take it. Roughly meter long. Had a fitted handle and some custom engravings that were difficult to make out with the naked eye. One quick examination later, he thrust it into his sheath. Alrighty then, it's time. Jimmy walked back out to the living room and signaled Lucky down from the loft. You ready? Lucky gave a quick nod before slinking behind Jamie, placing her hands on his back. Jamie pressed his hand against the... Jamie laid his hand against the door and released an insignificant amount of mana, causing it to slide vertically. This revealed the woodlands around his mountainside home. Let's go then, he stated. Right. The pair meandered away from Jamie's log home and carefully trekked down the hill. After a handful of minutes, this led them to a well-traveled path. Once it was within eyesight, Jamie pointed it out to Lucky. We then take the rest of the way. It will lead us to a shrine. At the shrine, we'll descend a few flights of stairs and then dragons. Lucky exclaimed. Jamie's hands flew into the air. Wyvern, Lucky, can't you just do that thing where you put your head against mine again? Lucky poked her head over his shoulder. The mind meld? Lucky poked her head Over his shoulder, yeah. Yeah, whatever that thing is that tickles my gate and makes my brain feel fuzzy. I know it gives you insight on things. For some reason your gate rejects me before I can get much out of you, Lucky explained. I was able to get the gist of the common language structure. Some other things though. I see. Still, some ability you've got there, Jamie admitted. Yeah, Lucky pouted. If only I could use all of my abilities still. Jamie nodded. But it didn't take long for the conversation to circle back to watching streams later. Another handful of minutes went by before a few buildings and a shrine came into view. On reaching the shrine, Jamie greeted a shorter than average shrine maiden. Her hair was in a French braid that reached her lower back. Its deep blue hue glistened in the morning sun. Jamie's voice was pleasant as he addressed her. Hello, Hainme. Nice weather we're having today, huh? She nodded politely but kept her eyes on Lucky. Lovely indeed. Is this the Neko you kept talking about every day on your way to work? Oh, how rude of me. Hainme, meet Lucky. Lucky, this is Hainme, the most decorated shrine maiden here at the Shrine of Calamity. I'm only the most decorated of those under lock swing. Under lock swing. Under Aegis Sect. Locks. And he said humbly. Lucky clung to Jamie. Shrine of Calamity. That sounds scary. Hi HS, thank you very much. I'm very, very fortunate to have this model. Thanks. Welcome in, welcome in. We're doing a review slash content edit of my book, Lucky Days Volume 1. We just finished Volume 2 a couple of days ago, but I'm just making sure everything for the first volume is good. Make yourself cozy. Grab a blankie or something. Hainme tilted her head in confusion. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Jamie quickly covered Lucky's mouth, reducing her words to incoherent muffling. I think she said it's scary how one person could do so much work around here. Jamie played it off. Yes, I am alone at the moment. Hainme gave Lucky a warm smile. But I'd urge you to pay a visit while the others are around. When the others are around. Hainme's amethyst eyes seemed to look beyond Lucky. Okay. Lucky nodded meekly. Jamie and Lucky said their goodbyes to Hainme and continued down the stairs. Jamie nudged Lucky. Remind me to give you a history lesson sometime. Lucky pouted. After Anko's stream though, right? Oh, definitely after the stream. Jamie let out a hearty laugh. A gruff voice broke through their conversation, grabbing their attention. Oi, Jamie, are you taking Delilah today? The voice came from a husky man with a wild ginger mustache and enormous eyebrows. His overalls covered a black t-shirt that exposed scars all over his body. Jamie grabbed Lucky's hand and pulled her faster, closing the gap between them and the man. Baldy, you're back! Jamie's glee caught Lucky off guard. How's the baby? Baldy smiled. Wanna have a look? Baldy pulled a red phone with a giant V on it from his chest pocket. Of course. Is Genevieve doing alright? Is she back on her feet? Jamie asked worriedly. Baldy gave Jamie a light slap on the back. Jamie, my boy, the old lady's built stronger than any war wyvern. In fact, it took me and all of her brothers to keep her in bed resting. Baldy let out a deep laugh. Yeah, that's not gonna shock anyone that knows her. Jamie grinned as he watched Baldy swipe through photos on his phone of the pudgy baby. Wait a second. Jamie's eyes darted around the area. Baldy looked at Jamie. What is it, boy? Jamie began walking towards the nearby barn. Where is Lucky? Who? Baldy scratched the back of his head. The Neko that was here with me. Ash-haired Neko that was here with me. Jamie started to sweat. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. She seems to be having a lovely time. Baldy pointed up towards the sky. Jamie gulped and raised his gaze to the sky. His eyes widened as he spotted a black and gold wyvern in the clear skies above. It was looping and rolling in fantastical patterns. Taking a step forward, Jamie's voice cracked. Oh wow, she's riding Delilah? Baldy placed his hand on Jamie's shoulder. I think Delilah's taken a liking to her. Now she's got 4 people she's taken a liking to. 4? Jamie's voice trailed off. 2 of them stood there admiring Delilah's showboating. Occasionally, squeals of excitement danced through the sky as Lucky giggled with glee. Jamie rummaged in his satchel for a moment before producing his own agate-colored phone. It too had a black V on the rear panel. He glanced at the time before holding out his phone to Baldy. It looks like we're getting close on time. Baldy, could you get us squared away? Of course, thank you for checking in. Baldy held out his phone in return. Jamie hovered his phone over Baldy's, then a quick jingle played from the phone speakers. Baldy pocketed his device. You're all set, Jamie. May time be on your side. Fate on yours. Yeah, so that's what I was doing before May Calamity... my brain is so shot. May Calamity find you fortune. May Calamity guide you home. Find you fortune. May Calamity guide you home. Yep. Okay. Cool. May Calamity find you fortune. And may Calamity guide home. My latest vid popped up in your recommended. You're gonna watch it after this stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think it was the healing magic one, if I recall correctly. It's hard telling because whenever I get time to make videos, I tend to do them in batches. So like, because I have a family and just like stuff outside of stream and content creation, work and whatnot, school, college. Yeah, if we're talking this channel, not the My Pocket Lucky channel, then it probably was the healing video one. That one was fun, I think. That one's for the story enthusiasts. Jamie placed 2 fingers in his mouth and let out a sharp whistle. Delilah seemed to bob her head before diving back down to a nearby landing spot. Jamie approached Delilah and ran his hand down her neck's ebony scales. She cooed and lowered her body, and then swiftly leapt up onto the beast. Still can't believe Delilah's already 188 centimeters tall. I remember when she was just shy of 94 centimeters. Before he could fully settle in, Lucky squeezed Jamie's midsection. Let's go, let's go! Her impatience manifested physically as she kicked her feet lightly. Alright, give me a second, would you? Delilah, can you take us to the northern drop-off and age us, please? Jamie ran his hand down the base of Delilah's wing. The tiny little gallop of her legs, Delilah burst into the air, fanning her wings before soaring south. Blitzing through the sky caused Lucky to droop her ears. The roar of the wind violently oscillated her tail. After a few moments of it flailing, she wrapped it around both Jamie and herself. Yeah, I appreciate you checking that stuff out. My brain is in like 12 places at once right now. I also had to take my super meds chat, so in like 20 to 30 minutes max, I'm probably gonna be pretty loopy. My eyes are already getting blurry, so we'll see how much time I can actively do stuff tonight. But I had my face was going numb and I had a really bad headache, so I had to do what I had to do. It was messing with my vision pretty bad. Jamie stammered, could you? What was that? I can't hear you. Lucky belted as they went even faster. The tips of Jamie's ears turned the color of burning coals as he remained silent. Yeah, I'm not saying that shit out loud. He was in fact not going to repeat himself. Lucky's giddy laughter and squealing were lost in the slipstream Delilah left behind them. It seemed like only a moment had passed before they had reached their destination. A beautiful ivory city sprawled out in seemingly every direction. They were but a blip in the sky. Even further south, an ocean sprawled infinitely, its surface smooth as a mirror. To the west, an intricate system of roads led to and from the city of Aegis. A rounded structure of behemoth stature loomed in the distance. East, however, had more woodland than anything else. Behind them to the north, more woods and mountains were to be found. Delilah slowed herself and bumped in the air 3 times. Alright, guess it's time to land. They quickly tucked themselves closer to Delilah's back as she dropped masterfully down towards the drop-off. I have cotton mouth like a motherfucker. That's crazy. I'm happy with this chapter. Like, the first 2 chapters, I think, probably have the most dense exposition out of this entire fucking story. Like, generally speaking. Like, the whole thing, like, even like Jamie's past wasn't even exposition. That was just like a flashback. But I think just as far as like straight up exposition, I think we got like the most of it, right? Most of it there. I think there's going to be a little bit more for the next like 2 or 3 chapters, but by and large, there's not really a ton, and maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe I should do more exposition, but I feel like with my writing style, you're not forcibly shoving shit down the reader's throat. I'm letting them figure it out a little bit at a time, and then throwing them bones here and there in case they didn't figure it out. I don't know. There's definitely a case to be made for both styles, I think. Anyways, chapter 2, The Fool's Carol. I love this chapter, by the way. Voices from a colorful cast of humanoids echoed throughout the streets. The glamorous sheen of Aegis's architecture cemented newcomers in place as they gasped in awe. In every nook and cranny of this bustling port city, you could find people from different walks of life. Shadows of wyvern fluttered overhead as they delivered people to their destinations. Nearby the northernmost drop-off, an easily excitable Neko's nose flared at the scent of salty sea air. Wow, this place is huge. Lucky's tail bounced from side to side, and her ears are rapidly adjusting to the chaotic lifestyle around her. You get used to it. Jamie grabbed Lucky's hand. Now come on, I'm gonna show you how to get to Carol's place. Arrow, Chip. How do? Happy Schmonday. Right. Her eyes sparkled as she let Jamie lead them a handful of blocks south. As they meandered down the city streets, Jamie would often point out landmarks and important directions for Lucky to take note of. Generally, keeping her on task feels impossible, but this is going surprisingly well. Jamie grinned at the thought. Lucky tugged on Jamie's arm, breaking his concentration. She looked at him with eyes full of desire. Lucky raised her arm and pointed across the brick-laid road. Jamie turned his gaze to where Lucky was pointing. He saw a vendor that had a large cart filled to the brim with an assortment of freshly fried seafood. That's what I get for being so optimistic. Jamie shook his head. No, Lucky, we're running out of time. Are you drooling on me? Lucky buried her face into Jamie's arm, shaking her head back and forth. I can't help it, I'm so hungry. Lucky pathetically held her stomach. It's humid still. You had to open the windows in your door, but now I gotta prepare for the damn mosquitoes. No, you don't have screens. Use your fucking screens. Jamie looked at Lucky in disgust. You just ate before we left the house. You know how hard it is to maintain this form with my mana? Lucky asked. Ugh, stay. Yeah, so this is like important to point out this here is like the first thing that kind of gives away that your mana capacity, or like how much, like the more mana you have and the more you do with your mana, the more you need to eat to maintain yourself. Kind of like with muscles. The more dense and strong your muscles are, the more you need to eat to maintain them. Gotta install one for your door. I'm sorry, that's rough. Hopefully soon then. Soon, TM. Ugh, stay. Jamie rolled his eyes and hurried over to the cart. Lucky fiddled with her hair and whispered, I'm not a dog, you know. Jamie pointed at a fried squid on a stick, before hovering his phone over a tiny kiosk. Lucky's tail wiggled as she kept a close eye on Jamie's back. He's the best. I asked her, how's it going, honey? Lucky couldn't stop grinning. The wiggles began extending from her tail to her whole body. Finally, the agonizing wait was over, and Jamie returned with some freshly battered fried squid for Lucky to munch on. Jamie held it out in front of Lucky, and she raised her mitts in anticipation. Okay, before you eat this, he waved it to the side, and her eyes darted after it. The snappy motion, he moved it to the opposite direction. Her eyes, once again, followed the squid on the stick. Her lips deviously turned upwards as he began rapidly moving the stick in various directions, causing Lucky to move her hands slightly to follow it around. Jamie, please. Lucky's stomach rumbled slightly. Jamie held it still directly in front of her face. Before we get there, just promise me that you won't leave Carol's today until I get back. Lucky shoved the squid in her face. You aren't staying with me? You aren't staying with me? There we go. Unfortunately, no. You know I have to leave the house how I have to leave the house most days for a little while? A little while? It's hours, Lucky protested. Amy ran his fingers through his hair and sighed. Sure, well, that's when I go off to work. You bringing up this work thing, is it really that fun? Are you serious? Jamie stumbled over his words. No, work isn't fun. Well, I like my job, but that's not the point. You don't mean to tell me you've never had to work before, do you? Lucky shrugged. I don't even know what work is. Passerbys began looking suspiciously at them in an attempt to decipher the cause of the commotion. Jamie lightly placed his hand on Lucky's back to guide her in the direction of their destination. Okay. So you know how I always talk about credits with different people? Lucky nodded. Well, the credits are used to purchase things like food, wyvern fare, and such. I get them from working as an adventurer, he explained. Oh, so like a job. Lucky said dryly. That's boring. Jamie frowned at Lucky. I think you hit your head when you fell from the sky. Lucky looked around absent-mindedly for a moment. I couldn't say. I've lived here my whole life. She stated like a kid who was reciting their parents' instructions. Shut up, Jamie groaned. No thanks. Lucky ran her mouth down the side of the stick to get the last bits of food in her mouth. As the two walked in tandem, Jamie would occasionally point out landmarks and wave to acquaintances. Huh. It's the second time today. How strange. Lucky took note of Jamie's rare, softer facial expressions. We're here. Jamie's voice carried a wave of relief with it. Bonk. Jamie's abrupt stop caused Lucky to bounce her nose off of his back. While rubbing her snout, she peered up over her hand. Oh, wow. Lucky's eyes sparkled as she inspected the three-tiered storefront before her. Tilting her head... Lucky's head tilted as she read the fancy cursive sign with a teacup on the plaque. The Fool's Carol? Grinning, Jamie responded, Yep, that's my home. Your home? I just came from your place. His tail formed a question mark. He shook his head. You'll see. Jamie reached out to Lucky, offering her his hand. Shall we? By the way, this shall we thing, the reason I've had Jamie, and I think I've had him say this more than once, but this is a direct nod to Eve, because Eve also will say this a lot in the book. And this is something she used to say all the time on stream. And it's supposed to be like an extra air of familiarity for Lucky that she subconsciously doesn't pick up on right away. I'm assuming I did this more than once, unless I just forgot about it, which is also entirely possible. Accepting his invite, they placed their hands on the two girthy doors before them before giving a shove. Let's try that again. Accepting his invite, they placed their hands on the two girthy wooden doors before giving them a shove. Fine. Before either of them could see what was inside, they were greeted with a warm aroma. Lucky's nose twitched as she chased the scent of cinnamon and baked goods. Blind to her environment, Lucky found herself in front of a selection of baked goods. Cinnamon and warm bread, we'll say. Oh my. Lucky's captivation was something behind the pane of glass, alerted a woman at the counter. A soothing, raspy voice perked Lucky's ears up. Hey, sugar. Do you like that Luna loaf? Lucky raised her head from the display and saw a taller woman with faded blue eyes looking down at her. After taking a quick look from side to side, Lucky clasped her hands and took a step away from the counter, accidentally bumping into someone. From behind, a familiar voice comforted her. Yeah, I'll take two. She craned her neck backwards until the back of her head was resting on his chest. Sup? Jamie grinned. Where did you go? Lucky wondered. Jamie shook his head. You're the one that ran off without me. Anyway, Carol, can I pay you for those on the way out? I need to go speak with Vladimir before he takes off for Lumenview. Carol leaned back against the counter. With various ingredients on it. Her dark locks bounced off of her tailored cafe uniform. Old man should be in the hall working the counter with Betty. Stuck her thumb over her shoulder. Alright, Lucky, why don't you get seated and order yourself some food? I'll be right back. Jamie motioned to a nearby table. Appreciate it, Carol. All of it. Jamie grabbed his loaf and walked off towards the back of the establishment. Jamie, you don't need to pay me, you hear? Carol yelled after him. Lucky awkwardly shuffled to the aforementioned table, quietly sitting down. A taller kitsune maid with a gothic Lolita aesthetic approached Lucky, but Carol waved her off. Carol took a moment to neatly slice up Lucky's Luna loaf and dust it with confectionery sugar. She then reached down into a fridge and pulled out a jar of red jam. Lucky's tail began wagging as she watched Carol spread it neatly over the top of a slice of bread. Over the top slice of bread. Good lord. By the time Carol had put a spoonful of jam in a tiny dish, Lucky could feel her mouth water. Carol brought the dishes over to Lucky and placed it down in front of her. At this point, Lucky's tail couldn't stop banging against the finely crafted wooden chair the rump laid on. Oh, don't keep me waiting, sugar. Eat up. Although rough around the edges, Carol's voice was light and carried a sweetness that rivaled the snack before Lucky. Okay. Thank you very much. Wasting little time, Lucky tore a piece of bread with jam on it and popped it into her mouth. Is this real? Oh my. Lucky hysterically jammed another bite of her snack into her. What the fuck? Lucky hysterically jammed another bite of the snack into her mouth. Goodness me. This is so good. Lucky's cheeks exploded as she tried speaking with her mouth full. Jamie wasn't lying about your table manners. Bread. Real? Carol giggled. Relax, hon. It's not going anywhere. I can always get you more. Lucky tried swallowing, but began pounding her fist on her chest as she began to choke. Carol calmly slid a mug of cocoa and watched on as she drowned it in one gulp. Ah. She politely dabbed her mouth with a napkin. Weird alert, don't mind me. You could beat Sony. Thank you, Irritus. I appreciate the lurk, and I will try my best. We'll see. We'll see. It's not looking so hot right now, that's for sure. I might actually have to go to court. I don't know. We'll see the next steps. Let's see. She politely dabbed her mouth with a napkin. Jamie talks about me every day, Carol sighed. That sigh quickly turned into a wholesome groan. I totally get it. Leaning forward, Lucky whispered, "Oh, what does he say?" Mirroring Lucky, Carol moved forward and put her hand on the side of her mouth. And he talks about how you're a messy eater, how he's constantly cleaning up after you, keeps bringing up how you made it so we can never look at Alma the same again. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the time you caused the fire in the kitchen. Lucky's ears drooped and she looked down at the table while tugging at her shirt. I see. Lucky sounded dejected. But Lucky's ears perked up. He clearly sees something in you, something good. He's not the type of person to just do everything he's done for you without a good reason. Will he save someone's life because it's in danger? Yeah, of course. But will he home them, teach them about the world, and try to make them comfortable? Well, apparently, but I never thought so. Wait, so do you know about my gossiping? Jamie's voice caused both of the ladies to jump. I'm going to get you two some real food. Carol scurried off and Jamie took the seat to the right of Lucky. Uh-huh. Well, turns out I'm free for the day, so what do you think of this place? Lucky's gaze traveled the room, occasionally stopping on other patrons or some of the employees busying about. It's cute, she said simply. I know, right? Thought you might take a liking to it. Do I inconvenience you? Lucky stared at her half-eaten meal. Her bottom lip trembled. Jamie seemed to be caught off guard. What? Am I a bother? I don't mean to make your life harder. Tears welled up in Lucky's eyes and her bottom lip puffed. Oof, getting hot. This stuff's definitely kicking in. The meds are absolutely in my system. Jamie frowned. You're a pain in my ass. Lucky flinched and closed her eyes. Well, I'd say that having you around has been a lot of fun. Listen, I don't know what you've been through, mostly because you won't tell me. But the way I see it, everyone has flaws, and while your flaws can be a lot sometimes, I'd say you've got some really great positive qualities. Tell me, Lucky whispered. What? Tell me what they are. Lucky sniffled. A nice period. Jamie caught a glimpse of Carol eavesdropping from the counter. Oh man, this is so awkward. I could feel the temperature rising. Well, for starters, Jamie avoided making eye contact. When you commit to something, you really try your best. Everyone does that, Lucky protested. Jamie gritted his teeth and put on a fake smile. Didn't you ask me to tell you? Yeah, we need to bop. Or are you going to object to every compliment I give you? Please continue. Lucky motioned at him. Oh, thank you so much, Your Highness. He said dryly. You have a way with animals and monsters. Your shape-shifting ability is really neat. You have a way with creatures is fun. Your shape-shifting ability is really neat. You're fun to be around, to do stuff with, and Jamie paused and ran its hand through his hair. Jamie paused and ran his hand through his hair. Got it. Lucky leaned forward, and don't keep a girl waiting. Well, you're kinda... Right as he was about to finish, a younger Laprine burst through the front doors. Somebody help! The bunny girl's voice was stricken with fear. Before Lucky could even open her mouth, Jamie had already begun making his way to the younger girl. My name is Jamie. I'm with the Fool's Carol Guild. How can I help? Some men took my father around the corner and were yelling at him, saying mean things. Alright, I want you to go talk to the nice lady at the counter and wait here until I get back. Jamie quickly made his way out of the cafe, and Lucky got up to run out after him. Not that they would do anything too crazy in broad daylight, Jamie reasoned as he turned left from the entrance, making his way to a nearby alleyway. Once he turned the corner, he saw 5 figures standing over a crumpled man with long bunny ears. Jamie stood tall as he called out to the group. Hey, what seems to be the problem? The smallest member looked up first. Shit, I told you guys someone would notice us here. A larger mountain of an orc-like demi-human grunted. Bears. Boss had agreed to get his money. Lucky stood around the corner, listening carefully. I want to help him. Lucky clenched her fist, but her body shivered and her legs were cemented in place. Okay, so I did show that she wanted... Okay. Cool. Damn, maybe I'm not as bad as I thought. Give the man his money back and step... The fuck? What is like... give the man his money back and step out of the alley so we can talk, Jamie demanded. A human with a scar on his forehead stood up, brandishing a chromium pistol. Or what? You gonna snitch? Jamie sighed. No, but medical expenses for criminals are a tad bit ridiculous and ageist. The large demi-human let out a guttural of a laugh. It's the puny human attempting to threaten us. Last chance. Jamie took a step. Suddenly, the air grew very dense. Even Lucky, who was around the corner, began breathing heavily. The man with the scar waved his pistol around in the air. Get out of here before you get yourself hurt, he taunted. Jamie's face grew dark. His eyes seemed to glow. So, yellow. The air grew thicker, freezing the men in place for a moment. 5. Jamie suddenly appeared in front of the orc, driving his elbow deep into its solar plexus, momentarily suspending him in the air. 4. With a decisive spinning heel kick to the temple, Jamie knocked out one of the other members into a nearby. Jamie knocked one of the other members into a nearby concrete wall, causing the man to convulse. 3. He grabbed the smallest member by the neck and lifted him into the space between himself and the man with the pistol. He shifted the small man's body to and fro, making sure to block the gunman's view. There was an echo here somewhere. Jamie's eyes scanned the environment. Damn it, they got away. His face tensed up as his brow furrowed. 2. With a quick flick of his wrist, he launched the chrominium rod from his sheath into the gun of his foe. The pistol spiraled from his hand, and Jamie spiked the meat shield head first into the concrete below. With a swift tap kick, Jamie launched the pistol into the orc's face, causing him to spiral into the ground. I'm sorry, I was just following orders, said the last standing assailant. Jamie swiftly closed the gap and dispatched of the gunman with a precise hook to the kidney. Me too. Me too. His voice was monotone as he snatched up the rod and resheathed it. Won't move another inch, a voice hissed from the entrance of the alleyway. Figures. Jamie looked back in the direction from which he came. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. Lucky struggled against the Neko, holding her hostage. A dagger traced her throat. Now listen here, seaweed head, the shady Neko called out. You will. Imagine using punctuation. Couldn't be me. Jamie disappeared from the Neko's view before reappearing again. 1. Jamie's fist sunk deep. Also, I just realized I'm a dumbass. 5, 4. Imagine just realizing that at the ripe age of 9k plus. 2. Okay. 1. Jamie's fist sunk deep into the Neko's diaphragm as he whispered into their ear. Lucky gasped as she fell for a moment. Catching her, Jamie carefully placed her down. You okay? Lucky pouted. Yeah, I'm fine. Her face scrunched in frustration. Her legs. Her legs shook. Betraying her bravado. Jamie contemplated for a moment, then finally spoke. I'm glad you're okay. Listen, I need to check on the kid's father. Wanna come with me?
Thank you.
Nodding, Lucky marched past Jamie towards the now standing Laprine. Jamie followed closely behind with a confused expression on his face. The Laprine had exquisite ornaments in his ears and donned verdant robes. A member of the Bergsnatchian chamber. This should be fun. With Jamie's quick inspection complete, he brushed some dust off of his clothes. Aside, I must be off my game. One of them got their hands on Lucky, and there was a 6th on the rooftops that slipped away. Well, one thing at a time, I suppose. Jamie turned his attention to the Laprine and offered him his hand. Hello, sir. Hope you're not too badly hurt. Anything broken or missing? Laprine chuckled but began coughing instead. You humans never cease to amaze me. He then grabbed Jamie's hand. Oh, Jamie put on a fake smile. And why's that? Where I'm from, if a cottontail came running for help people would assume things. The Leprine explained. What kinds of things? Lucky asked earnestly. The Leprine's eyes looked towards his feet. The maw of a hungry wolf wouldn't be far behind. A bust.
You're next, Roxas. I have to make you a part.
Amy eyed the Leprine. Well, this is Aegis. You are best to look after her own here. What's your name? Leprine scrunched his nose. Chuck is fine. As you can see, I'm not one of the lovely Aegis' people. Hello, Chuck. My name is Jamie. You should know that Aegis is a city built on refugees, adventurers, lost souls, and... Jamie helped Chuck turn the corner. Political exiles. So, Chuck asked, shocked. I'm not sure anyone in the city would have mistaken you as anything else. Also explain the situation you were just in. Jamie chuckled. Let's get you back to your daughter. I'll have the two of you speak with Vladimir. We'll see to it that you're taken care of. After finally returning to the Fool's Carol, Chuck's daughter came running up to show them the star-shaped pastry Carol had given her. A star bit, one of my favorites. Jamie knelt down. Did you get the one with cocoa or jam? Jam, it's delish. The Leprine child tiptoed with glee. Chuck cleared his throat. Ollie, introduce yourself and give thanks to these strangers. No, these do-gooders. Thank you. Oh, my name's Tolly. Nice to meet you, she exclaimed. Jamie gave her a high five. My name is Jamie, and my companion here is Lucky. Now, Tolly, your bravery and quick thinking saved your father's hide. Thank you for looking out for him. Lucky's tail softly swished as she saw Jamie smile. Jamie pointed to the table where Lucky left her half-eaten Luna loaf. Why don't you go make yourself comfy while I introduce them? Lucky obliged and took her seat at the back seat. Dog, I'm so good. Lucky obliged and took her seat back at the table. She watched him walk past the counters and through an entranceway into another room. That's fine. After taking a deep breath, Lucky slowly began eating her Luna loaf again. For the first time since Whoa, that scroll messed up my vision so bad. The first time since she set foot in the establishment, Lucky took note of the various happenings inside. That's not true. For the first time since Lucky had time to watch, examine, observe, she already observed, I guess, watch the various happenings inside. Everyone is wearing the same thing one of Jamie's Almas figures had on. What did you call it again? Her eyes wandered to a table across the room, where a rather rowdy party was enjoying their food. See, I told you maid cafes are the best, the one with the black and red hair said. Wait, what? Huh? The fuck? One with the black hair said. I told you maid cafes are bust. Nope, I was right. Black and red hair said. The one with the... I'm changing this to... one with brown hair had been poking at their food. It's fine, I didn't really want to come here. Right, that's why you kept complaining about the job taking too long. You were mumbling about cute maids spelling your name on your omni rice in your dreams. The last one, light purple hair teased. Shut up, Nept. What's that you always say, Tara? No, you? Nept retorted. Alright, you two, behave. We're on guild grounds. The one with the black and red hair leaned forward, resting her chin on the back of her wrists. Remember, we're supposed to be meeting our new fourth year today, so behave. If not for yourselves, then do it for me, she said coyly. You're no fun. You're no fun, Tara said, knuckling back. Alright, Holly. Holly looked at Lucky, her silver eyes locking momentarily with Lucky's. Lucky quickly looked away. Maid Cafe. That's what the Fool's Carol is? Question mark? I see. Lucky absent-mindedly consumed the rest of her Luna loaf, and someone placed a plate of almond rice down in front of her. Involuntarily, she began devouring that as well. But more importantly, Lucky placed her hands under her bum to get them to stop shaking. Why can't I use my magic? She felt a twinge in her chest, and she gripped her thigh tightly. Can't tell if this is the new Genmon art, but you put something in Digimon TCG? Wait, I want to see. I need it. I need it. This is new, yeah. Yeah, this wasn't in any of the trailers or anything they've shown yet. Can I pull it up on stream without problem? Yeah, that's cool. That's cute. Thanks for sharing. Adorable little goober. I'm so excited to get more Genmon stuff. Maybe more people will make Genmon art. I don't feel like people responded as positively to Genmon as I thought they would have. Not that they don't like Genmon, but it's just weird that like more people aren't like going hard on it. It is bizarre seeing it front and center any kind of marketing. I agree. We're eating right now. We're winning big. I'm gonna use my magic. She felt a twinge in her chest and she gripped her thigh tightly. The sound of the rowdy table getting up took her away from her toiling. She noticed that a fourth person had joined them. Neko with silver hair that ended in blue tips was exchanging greetings with the other three. Must be nice. Lucky slumped in her chair before shoveling the rest of her meal into her mouth. I like eating Jamie, but it'd be nice to have some friends go on. The official Bandai trailer for the anime went. So Time Stranger with the visuals, well, Code Vein 2, they just name dropped it without a visual. We're actually above Code Vein 2. Used to be lower than, yeah, like everything else. It's true. Yeah, no. I mean, even with like the TCG event, every other TCG game got like a basic certified Japanese slideshow, and then fucking Digimon popped up and it was like, we got moving pictures and a fucking like, trailer. That shit was tight. Shit was tight. Got like a full-on proper showcase for Digimon TCG. We're in the timeline where if something's going to happen, it's gonna be now. This is the best timeline for Digimon fans. Oh yeah, my assumption is it's literally just the TCG was doing well and they're like, we're not making money elsewhere, we're really struggling. Maybe people actually want Digimon, because obviously they're not playing the Digimon TCG just because they heard the mechanics were good. They came for the IP, and we can't keep up a product ever because people want it so bad. So yeah. How about we I'm assuming, I'm making wide assumptions here. She watched for a handful of minutes as Carol and the waitstaff busied about. Reading and serving it begins. greeting and serving customers as they came and went. This place is busy. It wasn't much longer before Jamie rejoined Lucky at the table. So, where are we? Jamie waved down one of the maids. Oh, where were we? I don't know, Lucky sighed. Jamie raised his left eyebrow. You sure you're okay? Lucky frowned. Don't know. Jamie leaned forward. Do you want to go home? Lucky shook her head. You want anything else to eat? Lucky shook her head faster. Jamie got a shit-eating grin. You want to go for a walk? I am not a dog. Lucky pouted. I should bring back the I'm not a dog thing. That was very funny. And the like something Lucky something like correcting the speech. I didn't really get a chance to do a whole lot of that in the tournament arc. Maybe also Jamie wasn't there. Jamie wasn't there for like all of book 2. So I lost pretty much all opportunities to do that. My bad. I was like, why haven't I done this in forever? Well, you see, Lucky turned her head and mumbled under her breath. You could shut up. The server came over and took Jamie's order. See, but now I have this weird issue. How do I explain this? I have this weird problem where Jamie was essentially absent for all of book 1, or all of book 2, was there for all of book 1 for Lucky. Stella came in late on book 1, and they didn't get tight till book 2, Stella and Lucky. And Stella and Lucky were basically inseparable for all of book 2. Outside of like the very beginning. And then I'm committing player removal in book 3. I'm like half tempted, genuinely, to hold off on the creator succeeding with getting Jamie. I'm gonna be real with you. I thought about it. I was like, we have other opportunities for them to get Jamie out of the picture, which is what they're looking for. I don't think I'm ready to write that yet. So I don't think I'm going to, which is going to change some of the pacing and some of the stuff that's happening in book 3, but I think that's okay. So yeah, we're not going to do that. I had a nice sit down with myself on that one. And I think it's for the best overall. It gives a little bit of space to breathe, and then on top of that, there's some interesting stuff I get to play with, which is nice. You missed the past two or three chapters because of Lost Evolution. You'll start back reading in a minute. Oh, you're fine. Lost Evolution, my goat. Also, how's the game going? I know you've been posting about it here and there. You still having fun? Max, I'm not a dog, Lucky pouted. Alright, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. Lucky turned her head and mumbled. You can shut up. The server came over and took Jamie's order. Contrary to their conversation, Lucky excitedly ordered a bacon cheeseburger as well. With a click of a pen, the server took off once more. Lucky stared at Jamie intently. What now? Jamie sighed. You're pretty cool today, she said bluntly. You thought that was cool. You should see me when I'm actually working sometime. Lucky shook her head. No, I'm good. Why's that? He asked. I don't like the idea of needing to be saved. Lucky shrugged. Can't protect myself or anyone else right now. I'd be a liability. Jamie studied Lucky's expressionless face. You know, it's a pretty level-headed thing for you to say. What did I just do? But Jamie stopped talking as the server came back with their food and placed it in front of them. You were having a lot of fun until you got to the second continent. Now it's like maze hell. You think it'll get better once you unlock all the warp points though? Oh, sick. Hopefully get the warp points soon then. Yeah, there's something about the DS story games, where they just like, level design wise, it just was like rough, man. I hope Time Stranger doesn't have the convoluted level shit. Although they didn't really have that in Cyber Sleuth, so we should be okay. But yeah, the DS games really... Whew. Occasionally that shit was rough. He shifted his turkey sausage to one side of the plate, his scrambled eggs to another, and left his hotcakes at the bottommost section. With a swift flick of his wrist, each of his sausage links was split down the middle vertically. Reaching to his right, he grabbed a small bottle of hot sauce and drizzled it over his eggs and the center of his sausage. Nice. Pleased with himself, he took a forkful of sausage and egg and shoved it into his mouth. The two sat in silence as they pigged out on their respective meals. Lucky was the first to finish, but not by much. Well, that was delicious. Jamie patted his tummy. Lucky simply nodded and waited in silence. Cat got your tongue? Jamie smiled. I changed my mind. I would like to go home. Lucky's face remained neutral. Alright, yeah. Home sounds good. Is it okay if we go talk to Carol one last time before we dip? Lucky's ears perked up and she nodded. Sweet, Jamie beamed. Let's go. You think DW3 had a good middle ground where could find it dead sometimes, but it wasn't entirely a maze until you get to the Digimon part, which is irredeemable. Yeah, I don't think it was like terribly mazy, at least from what I played. But the backtracking was bad. I'm very excited for Time Stranger. That needs to happen, right? But I also would like for them to seriously consider making a roguelite with a level, like a dungeon structure similar to like Cyber Sleuth, Digital Waves, or Digimon World 2. Let us get back in the Digibeetle, man. Take the DW2 formula, give us like that back, and like give us a chance to play DW2 with more randomized stuff. I really want that one day. It's weird because Time Stranger might be the only Digimon RPG without insane backtracking mazes. Well, all right, hold on. Let's see the game first. Let's see the game first. Heavy on the might. Heavy on the might. Heavy. There's no random encounters. What would be the point of mazes? Just to really make you giggle. Giggle. Oh man. Jamie and Lucky approached the counter and waited for Carol to come greet them. Carol leaned on the counter. Thanks for your help, sugar. I think our new friend Chuck would have been chucked if he hadn't been so quick. She turned her attention. Jamie ground. Jamie ground. She turned her attention to Lucky. You okay, love? Lucky responded. Wow. Jamie slipped his hand into his pocket and pulled out his phone. Take out the terminal so I can pay you before we take off. Earl pushed his phone away. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not charging you for a damn thing. Oh, don't ask again or I'll call Buddy. Jamie hurriedly tossed his phone into his back pocket. Yeah, let's not do that. I already have a headache, he said nervously. You sure it'll have fast travel? Maybe, since Central Town is like a hub. Yeah, there definitely wasn't a hub-like area in either of the Cyber Sleuth games. Nope, not at all. Nope, not a single one. Granted, they were tiny hubs, but no, yeah, I think you're right though. I think we'll probably be okay. I think we'll be going through like portals or time traveling or whatever to get wherever we need to go. It'll be good. Thought so. Carol winked. So Lucky, you have any plans for tomorrow? Lucky moped. I don't have any plans anymore. I don't have plans. I don't have any plans ever. Jamie and Lucky shared a brief glance. Carol reached across the counter to place her hand on the back of Lucky's, but Lucky quickly pulled away. She moved back a bit, putting Jamie between her and Carol. Please no touch. Sorry, Lucky seemed flush. Carol smiled softly. Hon, you don't need to apologize. I'm sorry for making you uncomfortable. Lucky shook her head. It's alright. So, Carol reached under the counter and pulled up a rectangular box with a ribbon on it. If you're interested, I'd like you to swing by tomorrow and try working with me for a day. For the day. Lucky's heart began to pound quickly. Would Jamie be here too? Unlikely, Jamie said softly. I've got a party I need to help with a quest tomorrow. Jamie nodded in the direction of the party sat against the wall. Lucky recognized them as the group she had been watching earlier. Oh, okay. Lucky looked longingly at the party, then back at Carol. What would I need to do? She inquired. Not much. Mostly look cute and tend to the counter. I will be here to show you the ropes all day until Jamie returns. Carol smiled. Lucky formed a small smile in return. It sounds delightful. Carol slapped the counter. Then it's settled. See you both tomorrow. Oh, take this with you and open it up when you get home tonight. It's a gift from the 5 of us. The 5? Lucky tilted her head to the side. We'll meet everyone eventually. Jamie pushed off the counter. Alright, thank you very much, Carol. I'll see you tomorrow. Later, sugar. Stay safe. You too, Jamie waved as he headed for the exit. Before they left the cafe, Lucky felt like she was being watched, so she quickly looked to where the party was sitting. I knew it. She waved meekly at the 4 adventurers who had been sizing her up. Ollie, Tara, and the newcomer waved back, while Nep just followed her with her gaze. A little while later, Jamie and Lucky returned to Jamie's cabin north of Aegis. Conversation on the way was noticeably lacking, and Jamie's several attempts to get it going failed. Spectacularly, right? Getting a little worried. Actually, I know what to do. Jamie opened the door to their home. So what you think Anko will be up to tonight? He asked. Probably learning a new character in City Scraper 6. Lucky's body skittered for a moment, causing her to change to pink button-up pajama set with black Lunaloaf pattern on it. Her hair was changed to a messy bun, and she had cute little wyvern studs in her ears. I didn't know she likes Delilah and the Lunaloaf that much. You know, I wish I could do that, Jamie grunted as he kicked off his boots. And I wish I could use my magic, Lucky pouted. Lucky, if it's really bothering you that much, I could probably help you out if you want me to. Lucky began to whine. I don't want to talk about it. Can we just watch Anko in your room tonight? Jamie frowned. I don't know why I ever worried about you. We walked through the door and you're already back to normal. Anko! Lucky yelled and ran back to Jamie's bedroom. All right. We can watch it in there just this one time. Jamie followed. I'll get it set up, but I need to take a quick shower. Remember to get your own blanket. You cannot get under my sheets. Okay. Lucky cheered from inside his bedroom. Jamie quickly fiddled with his TV and got fidget TV pulled up. Flat screen. After placing the box, Carol sent them home. After placing the box, Carol sent them home with on his dresser. He turned to see the mess of clothes still on his bed. Scoffing, he tossed Lucky the remote and grabbed his nightclothes. His nightwear. Remember, Jamie started talking. Get your own sheets, they said in unison. Jamie rolled his eyes and went to the bathroom to clean up. Still can't believe I let one get a hold of her and another get away. Jamie leaned against the slate in the shower. I don't want to work tomorrow. I want to see her in the maid costume. Jamie pictured it for a moment, then shook the image out of his head. Dude, pull yourself together. Alma's the only one for you. After taking his time getting dressed in his own plaid pajamas and curved shirt, he moved a container with suspicious liquid under the sink. With a suspicious green. After closing the cabinet, he walked back to his now darkened room. The only light source was the TV flickering as Anko comboed other players on her stream. Looks like she put the clothes away. And we took a look at the stream, admiring Anka's VTuber model. Character had bright blue hair with pink highlights and seemed to have a polar bear theme. The model's icy blue eyes and light blue nail polish were iconic in their own right. Jamie turned his attention to Lucky. So how is the— Get out from under my sheets, you freeloader! Jamie yelled frantically. Nope, too comfy. Jamie grabbed the comforter and rolled facing the empty side of the bed. Lucky. Jamie went to grab the remote. I'll turn it off. What? Scared? Lucky goaded. Scared of what? Laying next to a beautiful woman. Lucky tapped the bedside beside her. I'm cooked. Jamie stood over the bed, not unlike a poltergeist. Woman? Hardly. Jamie got into bed and turned up the stream a little. Seriously, you cannot sleep in my bed every time you get upset or scared. Lucky wiggled closer. You said I could stay in here tonight, though. No, I said you could watch the stream in here tonight. Jamie clarified. Bullshit, Lucky pouted. You stay in here just for tonight, she pleaded. Jamie put the remote on his nightstand. It's been just for tonight half of the month. Yeah, I know. Lucky's voice lazily trailed off as she began to snore. Lately, you're such a pain in my ass. Jamie rested his hand on her head and gently rubbed it for her. Good night. I hate to do this because it's hasn't been that long and I also started late. But I am genuinely fucking exhausted. Between the today and the headache and the super meds and stuff, I got nothing left in me. I'm tapped out. We'll pick up tomorrow. We're gonna do Pokemon Rising Ruby tomorrow, and then thank you for the headpats. We didn't have to change a whole lot, so that's nice. Coffee time? No, my super meds are in my system. There's no saving me. My eyes are so blurry, I'm having a hard time keeping track of the text, and talking's hard. Yeah, tomorrow we'll do Rising Ruby for the first Lega stream. And then we'll end with starting from chapter I don't know, chapter 3. Hopefully I remember. It'd be a real shame if I forgot. Chapter 3 of book 1. We're making good progress. The reread and edit's gonna be easy. There's not much I have to change. I just gotta make sure that I added certain details. Because I don't want things to— I want to make sure that like payoffs are there and character interactions that need to be there are there. And the only way for me to double check is to actually read the fucking book again. So we're doing that, and then by the time we're done reading the first book, we can work a bit on the skeleton, or if it's been long enough, we can go and we can read through the second book and make our edits, which is going to be so much longer than the first one. So yeah, that's that. I appreciate every single one of you for coming out tonight and being patient with me. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening, and I look forward to hanging out with you tomorrow. Tomorrow comes soon. Okay, bye.